kind of wanted to watch this. Pushing streamers to Kick.
Are you ready for me to?
Because the split on Kick right now is 95-5, but
Paint you a turd-colored picture of the streaming space.
and I heard that like a bunch of big streamers are gonna go over to Kick.
We're going to have some fun doing it. But first, I want to remind you that the vertical plugin for OBS is completely free, and it's an easy way to turn your live streams into TikTok content while you're live. You install it. It is a second canvas that's vertically oriented. You have scenes and sources. You can set up the exact same scenes that you use in your live stream, but in vertical format, and then link those scenes to your main scenes. So as you're switching between just chatting and gaming, so does the vertical one, and then you can retroactively record moments after they happen, ready to post on TikTok, fully edited for you. The goal is
So you don't even need Adobe anymore.
Let's just go through and update all the important stuff going on right now. 2, let's have a nice consensus at the end of it. Like, okay, so this is the nature of streaming. What should I do? What decisions do I make? And then 3, we're going to do this and we're going to not be sad. Because that's the nature of being a content creator and an entrepreneur. You need to be aware of the space so you can make the decisions to be creative, be innovative, and do some great things and make some money as a content creator. Let's start by trimming the fat, getting the easy ones out of the way early. Facebook gaming. Remember that thing? Facebook shut down their gaming app almost a year ago. It's saying, hey, don't worry, it's still on the website. But now, as of like last week, they shut down their application to partnership. So you literally can't even apply to be a Facebook gaming partner right now. Let's just call a spade here. Facebook gaming is over. I mean, Facebook gaming was never truly 100% there to begin with.
So what about ZLaner? ZLaner is a huge streamer and he's on Facebook, and I'm surprised he's still on it. You should just move back to Twitch or YouTube.
Fight and that you should probably keep in mind moving forward, which is if a platform's main monetization strategy doesn't actually involve content creators, it's probably not a great place for you to try to build your content creation business. Facebook doesn't make money off creators, so Facebook doesn't care to see creators succeed, and that's just an important variable in the decision-making process. But cool, got Facebook out of the way. Let's jump over to YouTube, a company whose main focus is on content creation. However, they've been bumming me out. As someone who moved to YouTube a while ago and had a lot of hopes for YouTube, it feels like they've taken a 180-degree turn in their
a good way
live streaming agenda here. I know Google had a ton of layoffs, and I know a lot of those people were from the content side. It's why you don't see any YouTube originals going on anymore. It's why you haven't seen any updates to the live streaming space in forever. It feels like YouTube dove in head first a while back and then realized recently what Twitch learned a couple years ago, which was hosting a live streaming platform is really expensive and it's just not profitable. And with the tech space being hit as much as it is, and especially with the rise of short form content, it feels to me, again, this is not any insider information, but it feels to me like their focus is entirely on shorts and they had a limited amount of resources.
LOL. No, this guy's really good. This guy, what's his name again? His name's Senpai Gaming or whatever. Oh God, what's his name? I can't remember his first name, but he is like a huge, I wouldn't say like an Osmongold of YouTube for tech and stuff, but he does really good deep dives in like the streaming world.
They were planning on putting.
So he's like just doing like why people are being pushed over to Kick, because Kick has like an incredibly profitable size for streamers right now, because it's like a 95-5 split. So all $5, like the platform only gets so much money. So he's kind of like just breaking down Facebook and YouTube at this point. But
live streaming, they're like, hey guys, this is going to be a lot of money spent and very little money gained. However, TikTok is making ridiculous money. Let's put money over there instead. And look, I don't know if that's not true, or maybe it's partially true, but it's just,
I love that watch.
A gross oversimplification. But either way, YouTube is not feeling like a great place for people to jump ship to and stream full time on. It seems
interesting,
like a supplementary place for people to make videos and then connect with their audience over there once a week, once every other week, and monetize another way. The real meat I want to talk about just in the last couple weeks is Kick and Twitch. Individually, both very interesting. Together, super interesting. So let's jump into that.
I feel like YouTube is a huge platform that's doing really well. I thought it was still doing really well. Like even the updates that they had put out, I think they just did gifted subs just like a little bit ago. I didn't realize that, like, for like a YouTube streamer to be saying that, that's kind of crazy, because I thought that they had like a better accessibility within the platform than Twitch does, because like once you go offline, your channel's dead. Once you go offline on YouTube and you're a YouTube streamer, like you get pulled up on the side handle all the time.
A lot is, how do I get good audio when I know nothing about audio? Well, good news.
Okay, sponsors, yeah. Okay, so what's happening? What's happening at Twitch? I'm interested.
Back to the video. So Twitch can really only be described,
I think they just laid off like 500 employees
right now, as a dumpster fire that has been picked up and dropped into a larger dumpster, which has then been set on fire. Now, what's happened recently? Let's go over it. So first off, Emmett Shear, their CEO of over 16 years, just quit. And let's be real, the guy has been checked out for a while. He actually deleted Twitch out of his Twitter bio like a year ago. The guy, who I've never met, seems to me like a guy who was a creative dude, had a really cool idea, which happened to turn into a massive billion-dollar company, and frankly had no experience running a giant company. And I feel that. I empathize with that a lot. But due to one reason or another, his experience, the extremely fast growth, whatever, was not prepped to run a company like Twitch. Maybe did the best he could. I want to give people the benefit of the doubt, but it's been a wild ride recently. He left, and a lot of things have changed since then. He left, and he left it up to Dan Clancy, who's been high up there, basically the number 2 for a while now. If you're not familiar with Dan Clancy, it's the guy who wrote the letter to Twitch streamers saying the reason that the split is 50-50 is because we wanted to show you that we're all in this together. I don't know who signed off on that being put in that newsletter, but that's like he was trying to manipulate you, and he was just really bad at it. This is also the guy that multiple large creators have met with and walked away from, saying this guy is completely out of touch, has no idea what he's doing. So really looking forward to this new era of Twitch. And then, of course, immediately afterwards announced there are massive layoffs, not only to Twitch, but also just Amazon as a whole, and 400 Twitch employees are being let go.
Okay.
And this announcement,
I thought it was 500. 400 employees, that's a lot. As well as the CEO.
What it is, by the way, it's Thursday night, the 23rd. This announcement came like last week. They announced 400 people were going to be let go, and they haven't announced who yet. All these people are coming back to work every day not knowing if they have a job next week.
That sucks.
That's wild.
You know what's crazy too? And somebody like brought this up. They were like, isn't it funny for a company, you have to like be nice and give a 2-week notice, right? But you can walk into work one day and your company can just fire you on the spot and not give you, and sometimes they'll give you like a 2-week pending pay or whatever the case may be. But a lot of the times you can just straight up walk into work and lose your job, as opposed to you as an employee to the company who, you know, you have to give your 2 weeks notice or whatever. It's kind of crazy. In that instance, if I'm going to work every day knowing that I could potentially be cut, like, do you even go into work? Like, everybody in the back of their mind is going to be like, okay, I'm going to find a new job, even regardless if I do stay. It brings like the whole morale of the company down. Is crazy.
The guy's been CEO for less than a week, and already he's destroyed the morale of all the streamers and all the employees. So,
literally what I just, yep.
I can see why people are moving to Kick. And I mean that, by the way. As a big skeptic of Kick, I have a really hard time saying, no, don't go to Kick, stay on Twitch. That's where you're safe. It just sounds ridiculous to say that. The bottom line with Twitch is, don't expect things to get any better. The way Twitch is the way Twitch will be, unless Dan steps down and someone who knows what they're doing is taking its place. But it looks like it's being more and more assimilated into Amazon. And who knows, maybe they'll sell the tech at some point soon, because it looks like they're not really trying anymore. So is that the advice? Go to Kick? Well, let's talk about Kick. Got a lot of people moving over to Kick. Got a lot of big streamers moving over to Kick, but it seems like I see 2 things about Kick on my Twitter timeline. I either see a bunch of small to medium-sized streamers saying, I want that 95-5 split, I'm moving over there now. Or I see Aiden Ross either showing porn or talking with Nazis on his live stream.
No, thank you.
Completely unmoderated.
And the gambling.
What to think about like the culture and the TOS, because it doesn't seem like there is any. It's this weird enigma that took advantage of this opportunity and hasn't really considered any of the important variables around it. They saw streamers upset with the 50-50 split and they said, screw it, we are a gambling company. That's not how we make our money. Let's give them 95% and do something that Twitch cannot replicate no matter what. And that's,
but you're gonna lose money.
All they have going for them, a 95-5 split, which I get it, that's enticing.
but no company will be able to profit off that or even keep the platform alive. So I think it's like in due time. I think it's like a flash sale almost for like Kick streamers to come over to their platform. But like there is no way that is profitable long term.
But I want to talk about that real quick. I said this in the last video. I grew up in Nevada. I'm very familiar with casinos, and that's what Kick at its core is. It's owned by Stake. It is a gambling company. It is not a live streaming platform, and that same advice I talked about Facebook applies here. This company's monetization strategy has nothing to do with the success of their streamers. It's entirely based on how much exposure they can bring to their gambling, how many people they can get addicted to gambling so that they can, I'm going to use the word, they can steal from them. That's what gambling is, by the way. Gambling is theft. It's legal theft. They can afford to give 95% of their sub revenue to streamers because gambling is so lucrative. I mean, think of all the people we've seen lose millions. We got Slicker that has lost millions.
That guy was nasty.
We got DNP3 who lost millions of other people's money. We all got super upset about it on Twitter. And then we're jumping straight over to Stake. And what concerns me most is that most people aren't seeing the parallels between what Kick is doing and what casinos do, which is throwing out the giant flashy signs, making the place look exciting.
I just said that. I just said they're doing like a flash sale. Holy shit.
And fun, all the showgirls and everything, and just like, ooh, this is a.
And then there's gonna be that nasty twist at it, like at the end, right?
Place of excitement, and then of course the promises, the showing the jackpot money on the screen. This could be yours. You could become a millionaire tonight. This is how casinos work. It is enticement, it's false promises, and then it's pulling the rug out from under you once you're hooked. And Kick mirrors that a lot. Try to find substance in their platform. You can't, because it's literally a copy and paste from Twitch. Their entire marketing strategy is the 95.5, because if you just spend more than 5 seconds looking at the website, you realize they didn't spend any time building it. This whole platform for streamers is just Twitch's platform turned green. It's just concerning to me to watch a company put zero effort into building a culture and a business and a platform to help people grow there, to help content creators.
They don't care about the individual channels, and they don't care about like the creators on the channel. Like he said, he literally, like, the company is based off of ripping off other people. So they ripped off Twitch so they can rip off content creators coming in, hoping that pulls in more revenue, get them watching casino shit like Stake, have them download it and start doing Stake. Like, as he explains it, it's so much more clear. It's kind of crazy.
Creators grow their own businesses. There's no effort done there. Instead, they're using those enticement tactics, and then they're feeding into the narrative that people are so upset about, which is Twitch takes half of your money, which they do, by the way. This is a valid tactic, but Twitch takes half of your money. We don't do that. You get scared.
Then just do bits. If you're so upset that people like are subbing and taking half the money, which I'd be fine with because the TOS is fantastic. I mean, it's one of a kind. It's the best streaming platform out there. It has a lot of help. Sure, there's like nasty shit behind it, but it's way better than Mixer. Well, LOL Mixer, that lasted 2 years, 3 years. I mean, Kick. But
scammed at Twitch, don't get scammed over here. And the point that I'm trying.
Oh, but what I'm saying is, just have people donate bits to you. I think you get all the bits. Bits is the form of donating on Twitch. So if you are upset that people subscribe to you and you only get 50% of it, just have them give you bits. Really push that on your stream, or really push tipping from Stream Elements or Streamlabs. Like, it's not all sub based. You can get, there's other forms of payments that you can get that isn't split 50-50 from you.
Trying to make is they just haven't scammed you yet. Gambling is always fun until it's.
I love that emote so much. I love that one.
It's not. So now what am I saying? Am I saying go back to Twitch? I'm laughing because the answer is not in favor of any of these. I don't like any of the streaming platforms right now, and it's becoming more and more apparent to me that unless you are in the top 0.01%,
yep,
streaming cannot be profitable. It can never give the return on the investment that you put into it, because that's just the way this structure is built. The best advice that I can give
Dude, at least he's real. He is real about it.
any aspiring content creator in the content space, and please understand how earnest I'm being with this as someone who was in love with the streaming space for a long time. The absolute best advice I can give is to make streaming supplemental content to video content. Focus on TikToks and shorts and reels, whatever. You can post those all the different places, so you should do that. Focus on creative video content. Focus on learning a skill that makes you unique. Focus on being a marketable entity, and then use live streaming for additional marketing, for additional revenue, for additional reach, for additional intimacy with that audience. Because the way that this normally flows is people find short form content. That's the most discoverable content there is. This is the filter, by the way. They find short form content, and from the short form, they're willing to watch the long form. And then they get addicted to that long form content. They build that relationship with you. They see that content of substance
And drive.
they want to see the person behind that, and they watch your live streams. Very rarely does someone go from short form content to live content. That is
Just like Meatloaf, that guy that I literally just talked about that has incredible videos, and I'll pull one up after this. He makes like 6-minute videos, 5-minute videos that are extremely, like, I've never seen videos like it before. It's like cartoony, and it's dark, and it's like really well done, but it's 6-minute videos. And I just now discovered that he's a Twitch streamer, and I would go follow him and just watch him do the behind the scenes thing, just like on a live stream, and see how he like lays everything out. And just like musicians too, T-Pain does a really good job. T-Pain releases a 2-minute song, and then his streams are like 6 to 8 hours, and they pop off. And he does really well on live streams. I mean, so like short form content is where it is. I mean, this guy's not wrong. And I know a lot of people have been saying that for a while now. Like Tim the Tatman always says that too. He's always like short form content is the way to go. Even if you stream, I think they even say like, even if you stream like 2 or 3 hours and solely focus on the back end of short form content, you'll get way more exposure. So it's kind of crazy how streaming is now. You get more exposure streaming, not going live, which is insane. And it's just true.
That's a huge leap. The normal flow chart goes short form to long form to live stream. And I would recommend diving into that. I love you. I love you a lot. And we're not sad here today. Here's a little nugget for you that I try to always remind myself. People always ask if it's a zero-sum game or if it's not, and it's always somewhere in between. And the bottom line is, when things are going bad for everyone, that's when the largest opportunities to break through and do something fantastic are. Stream Beats, the music company, which by the way, we released a new single and a music video with Foosley. I'm going to link to that down below also. But Stream Beats took off during the giant DMCA wave, which was a bad thing to happen.
True.
It allowed for a business opportunity. There is a scramble in the content.
That's where they really made their rise. Like when everybody was getting DMCA'd and their channels were being banned, he came up with his own music production company that was free for all streamers, and everybody used it. And this dude popped off. It was a good video.